Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus the Sage. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we have another pick a card, and today's pick a card is going to be the Familiar's Advice. So we're going to hopefully have a heavy emphasis on the animal kingdom in general, and we're going to look through what specifically they may want to address, what specific animals might be there of assistance, what you may have missed going on energetically in your environment, the lesson to be learned or to be gained, and then some guidance. So we have 3 options for you to pick from. So for the first one, we have the Thunderbird. The second, we have the Elk. And for the third, we have the Buffalo Skull. All right, beauties, take a second, and I will see you at your choice. Welcome, my pal one. Okay, let's spread out your cards first. Let's put this over here. Okay, my beautifuls, let us see, my Thunderbird pile, what they want to address first, which is going to be this card over here. And it is the Brown Bear Spirit. Take time out. The Brown Bear Spirit is talking to you about needing, obviously, a sense of rest, but they're really bringing up the hibernation aspect of this and a period of time specifically. It feels like, ironically, I'm getting like the opposite energy. I'm feeling almost as if it's time for you to come out from your hibernation. I know it's saying take time out, and this absolutely can definitely be the case for some of you needing to take some space to hibernate, but I'm getting a sense that you've been hibernating, and they're giving me like 9 months or plus, in a sense of being very reclusive, kind of overly introverted, a little overly protective of your energy or of your space and or time. And I'm hearing it's because you needed time to heal your heart. And the interesting thing is, with the Thunderbird in this particular totem that I have, it's representative of the collar of rain, which makes me think of cleansing. So either this is the energy that you're coming out of, or maybe what you're going into. But what I'm getting energetically first, it feels like it's time to come out, and I'm curious as to why I'm getting the opposite from what the card is. Let's see what you may have missed, which is this card here. Meditation. Improvements require persistence. So this meditation card talks about, obviously, meditation holding the answers for you. And we have already talked about this hibernation energy and this reclusiveness. But it's asking you to, I'm feeling like it's asking you now to address the things that you have neglected within this space. A form of meditation is now required for you to feel a sense of wholeness again. So maybe again, maybe that's what I'm getting, is stepping out from this energy, but still needing to feel that you need to be in it. The main energy it's saying is like, now's the time to focus on your well-being and your health. So again, both feel like they're applicable for my collective here. It feels like some of you are really needing this hibernation time and needing to go into it. Excuse me. And some of you have been in this and are either mentally or literally starting to take the baby steps out of that energy. I'm getting it, like I said, I was getting a very heavy of coming out of it, but what we may have missed here is the importance of this time, is what I'm getting, the importance of the time in meditation, or the time alone, or the reflective time. Maybe that's because we can't see it yet, right? And hence this like collar of rain of cleansing the heart, healing in some way. Because there is a lot of changes happening, or have happened, or will be happening. But it feels like it's present, like really, really present. It's one of the two energies that you might be in. It doesn't feel so strongly like the in-between. Okay, let's see what the lessons to be gained are. Lightning, power. Yes, your power, your strength. The understanding of your path is what I just heard. The divine detours that were present. The communication that got blocked or withheld. The connection still to be had. Wow. Okay, let's see your tarot. We have the Page of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Five of Swords. And the Sun in reverse. I feel like it's literally still echoing to exactly what we talked about. This Page of Pentacles, like the novice or the apprentice, you know, coming out of that stage in a sense of study, of learning, of the practicality of the hibernation, the reflection, to step into your power, which is that King of Pentacles, into your authority, combating the conflict within your mind and within whatever it is that you may have been healing or are healing. That Five of Swords, that again, this baby steps out into your own sun, into the sun, you know, almost ready. It's still, the sun's still a lovely card, even if it's in the reversed, or the energy might be hindered temporarily, but that's because you're not fully out yet, hence the baby steps I was feeling. And that reflection time of the importance of, like, I feel like you used, if you've already been through the bulk of this energy, you use that meditation time to heal, but I think they're talking about reflecting now on how useful or beneficial this unfortunate or uncomfortable phase was. I think that's the reflection. And if you're in the other, where you're stepping into needing this energy, I feel like this is what you're going to be learning along your journey. And then first quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. Yeah, and that's again, we talked about the reflection, right? The understanding of the why. In other words, after been through the process. They just said to keep a record for yourself. So that if you do return to this feeling, it's almost as if you have the remedy already written. Ooh, I love that. Good tip, good tip. Thanks, Spirit. Okay, let's see what the familiars are. Excuse me, let's see which familiars are here to assist you while you go through this brown bear spirit energy, this her hibernation phase, this meditation energy, or coming through it, out of it, into it, however this is applying for you. This is one of my new decks here. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be using the book, of course, until I get a little bit more familiar with it. It's called the Prairie Majesty Oracle. They're lovely cards. So, I am going to look at this up. It feels like that death and rebirth, you know, like coming out of the winter phase of your life, hence this hibernation. The balancing out of your own power, the recognition of what you went through. Again, coming into the sun. Ooh, this is lovely. I love this. Let's see what this is. So this is the moon. This is perfect. It's the same energy I was getting with the sun. It says internal, introverted, reflective, hidden, subconscious, contemplative, fluid, gentle, soft, phases, cycle, releasing, going with the flow, dreamy, and emotional. So the the elements are here with you with this lightning power and the moon, the sun energy too, you know, and it really does echo back even more to this winter phase of your life, or winter phase of, it feels like, of your life, to be honest, or of this year, or of a particular energy that you've been going through for a while, hence the cycles. Let's see what else. Shelter. Big blue stream. How can I be of service? So this one here, it says, the old ideas of service demand perpetual sacrifice of self for other. Putting your own needs, wants, and desires first was considered selfish. As we move into greater freedom and personal autonomy, it's time to reclaim the idea of service. When our searching point is compassion for all, including ourselves, or our organic output supports the whole, voluntarily and unconditionally. By contrast, neither obligation nor overbearing paternalism are fertile ground. By meeting its own need to survive drought and other conditions, big blue stream naturally benefits soil by stabilizing and preventing erosion. Big blue stream also enables life for many prairie dwellers. Its foliage feeds inhabitants from grazing mammals to insects. It also shelters nesting birds and insects seeking protection and a place to thrive. This card encourages you to ground deep and grow upright, a bridge between earth and heaven. When you live in alignment with your personal truth, your presence is stabilizing, naturally offering a welcoming haven for others seeking to do the same. What will you flower? Explore the significance of triality as a unifying force. Other groups of three to consider are mind, body, spirit, past, present, future, me, you, we. That is beautiful. So it's another type of, so again, coming back to that first channeling of healing the heart in some way, and may have been how you were of service or felt whatever happened that led you into this hibernation, this winter phase. It has something to do about service for sure. Beautiful. Your final guidance, my lovely Thunderbird pile. As I was doing this for myself earlier, I picked 6 cards. And I'm speaking of cycles, so I'm going around to read it sort of in a way of, you know, spirit, the animals, the plants in particular, giving you a progression of advice, reassurance. Ooh. So, closing advice, hydrangea. Thankfulness for understanding. Again, this reflection back as to the why, right? Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. A different type of service. Gerbera daisy, purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Again, stepping into the sun energy, not to be afraid of it. We have the wildflower, anemone, anticipation. I felt like an arrow pulled back and ready to be launched into something big. Yes. This is, again, I'm feeling this. It's the sun energy, especially I love how it just curves and arcs towards that too. Then we have magnolia. Nobility and self-esteem. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. This is it. That's this whole energy. How can I be of service in a better way, a new way of service? Hence healing this heart. Then we have iris. Rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Oh, beautiful. and glanduloia. Strength of character and moral integrity. Yep, this is a full progression of the cycle here. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. And that is what your hibernation phase, this taking the time out, will be teaching you as you fully, again, assess the situation. You know, it's this reflection back into your power. Oh, my collective of 𝛼1, my thunderbird, calling in the rain, you certainly did, to bring in this beautiful blossoming of this flowering of you, you know, and a recognition of how to better serve yourself. Therefore, like, automatically, unconditionally, you are serving the good, the collective good. Oh, lovely. I'm sending you so much love. If it was helpful in any way, please let me know. Leave your comments. I would love to hear about it. Till next time, ciao. Welcome, my pal twos who chose the elk. Let's spread out your cards. Okay, my beautiful collective of pal 2. So let us see what your animal family, your familiars want to address. Excuse me. So we have Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. Ooh, the song just came in. I want you to get together. I think it's Saint Germain, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, I haven't heard that song in so long. Good tune. Ooh, I'm also getting a frustration with trying to find the right pieces, the right people. Interesting. Wow, I'm getting a heavy disappointment. And that's coming from, it feels like energetically from my viewer, like you don't seem like you're good enough, or you don't match up to the people. So like you feel like you don't fit with like anybody. Whoa, what's this? L2. They're saying to me, it's time to put aside your doubt and what's the word? Endure. And it's not endure if you've been feeling diminished or belittled. That's not what they're talking about. They're saying endure because you will be finding these people. You will find them. I'm feeling like a heavy sadness, and you're blaming it all on you. And interestingly enough, the elk that you've chosen in this particular totem energy stones stands for stamina and friendship. Speak about endurance, right? This is interesting. Let's see what you may have missed, or what you may be missing. Energy signature. The past is the present. There's a talk about in the energy signatures about learning how to master the energies of a room and or reading a room and exposing what is hidden in a way. You're being asked to read the energies of the situation or the people involved. You must shine the spotlight on what needs to be removed, the masks, whatever needs to be exposed in yourself and in the environment. And you will begin to understand the patterns that you have created in this current of self-doubt. You need to use your intuitive intelligence for the answers, to find your answers. And you have experienced this type of energy before. It's to recognize your patterns. So yeah, I feel that that's what you might be missing, is sort of the recognition of your patterns, or of you, always easier said than done, but like appreciating the difficulty now. Of recognizing the patterns in the difficulties that you've been having, and reorganizing them, or being able to reprogram them in a sense where it's, it becomes like a built-in system now, as opposed to you having to go through it and all this pain. Instead, now it's not in a sense of an avoidance, but it's a sense of a bell, an alarm, being like, tick tick, I've been here. I know if I do ABC, this eventually leads me to DEF. So I may not want to do it this way this time, that way this time. Okay, let's see the lessons to be gained. Winter solstice reflection seems to be a theme in the collective energies. The Hanged Man. Yeah, like this lesson to be gained is in this, again, this learning. Past is the present. The reflection of what you've learned from your past, finding the new perspective within this Hanged Man energy. Yeah, to step out with the truth, clarity, to forge forward, unencumbered by your past doubts. Again, the stamina, the endurance to keep moving and looking for, the keep moving, right? That 8 of Wands, and looking for your peeps, the energy that resonates with you deeply and sees you just as deeply. 6 of Swords, venturing to find your people. I'm telling you, and it feels very successful. I can't tell you that it's like a quick process by any means, because there are still pieces of the puzzle you are still needing to figure out first before you can fully, I guess, integrate the lesson that's being taught here. Yeah, it's like it's a graduation, right? It's understanding this energy signature so that you can move forward to find the right people to collaborate with, to find the right energies. New Moon in Libra, and know that you are loved. Yeah, that's what you're waiting for. It's that family energy in the most beautiful sense of the word. It's not always a positive word for everybody. So you are loved, and you have, again, I feel like you've been trying to fit yourself into the wrong puzzle. You just had a different piece, That's the best analogy I can give you. Okay. Let me take a second here. You're ready to step into this new phase. For sure you are. No hesitation, my friend. Just keep moving. Okay, let's see the familiars or the energetic help that's here for you on your journey with the Ant Spirit. Burn, wildfire. What is ready to go so I can grow? Oh man, how perfect is this? Oh my goodness. It's a new deck for me. It's called the Prairie Majesty Oracle. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. So I'm going to use a book for it, but it literally is like burning away this old version, that reflection, that new perspective, so that you can grow, get out of this doubt, knowing that you know that you are loved, that you will be loved, that you are loved. Wow. Okay. Something new is on the horizon. How can you make room for it? As humans, it's normal for us to get attached, whether to habits, routines, things, places, people, beliefs, perspectives, you name it. During certain chapters of our lives, these may serve us by providing support, stimuli, or comfort. Even so, outgrowing attachments is not only natural but also a necessary part of the cycle. None of us can truly stay still, no matter how hard we try. When wildfire blazes into your life, challenge yourself to open up and allow the reset. As the smoke clears, what opportunities will be revealed? On the prairie, wildfire is critical to preserve the open grassland habitat. Periodic burns prevent trees and shrubs from taking over and inhabiting the growth of everything else by blocking the sun. Wildfire also speeds the breakdown of matter. Dead plants, leaves, and grasses are turned into food for the new growth. Moreover, the clearing effect of wildfire also exposes greater swaths of prairie soil to sunlight and the warmth needed for seeds to sprout. While change can be unsettling, scary, or disorienting, it also opens the way forward. Embracing the new does not ask us to judge or blame the old. Exactly. Can you view the situation neutrally? Expressing gratitude for how it has served you in the past may help. The past is the present. Honor what feels right to you moving through this transition. On the other side are possibilities with your name on it. Allow anticipation to pave way for your rebirth. That anticipation of movement, burning, what is ready to go so you can grow. And then, yeah, I love it. Talk about elk, deer, white-tailed deer. Love that. Trust. I am honoring my knowing. This is so lovely. Let's just put a really big smile on my face. Yeah, and I think this honoring your knowing is really talking about the patterns that we talked about, the perspective, the understanding of you. Okay, so white-tailed deer says, when white-tailed deer shows up, seek out a quiet spot for solitary introspection. Hence the reflection. If you can be outdoors in sunshine, all the better. With each breath, invite a sense of well-being to flood your body. Sink into your heart space for a check-in. What does your intuition say about today's circumstances? A graceful, beautiful herbivore deer is equipped with extraordinary sight, hearing, and smell. When she senses danger, she trusts herself and acts on it, exiting the situation through running, leaping, or swimming. She always raises her tail, exposing the white underside to warn her herd. Even for ducks, with their impressive antlers, fighting predators is generally a last resort. When no threats are detected, deer exude peace and contentment. As you explore what feels right to do next, invite deer energy to serve as a focal point. She gazes at you with a loving expression, reminding you to calm and cultivate the space within where you know you are always safe. You have access to a deeper spiritual knowing beyond the flight or fight response. Consider, if any of the following approaches support your insight, is there a way to diffuse the situation instead of escalating confrontation? Would walking away restore or promote your own peace? Alternatively, is the perceived threat an illusion that you can clear internally without giving up ground? Are there others who would benefit from hearing about the communications of your personal guidance? Draw on your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical senses. Take ownership of deciding the next step. You are worthy of trusting yourself. So much goodness here. Wow. Yeah, I have nothing for that. They summed it up pretty perfectly. So for your closing guidance, we're using the botanical impressions, is that right? Botanical inspirations, to get sort of like a cycle or a cyclical energy of how this is helping you, adding on to the lesson to be gained, and sort of to give you a boost, confidence, reminder, assurance, Okay, first one, we have Venice Malo. Delicate, fleeting beauty. When life is not coming up roses, look to the weeds and find the beauty hidden within them. Oh, this is so perfect for this energy here, right? Where we start this cycle of guidance from the plants in general. The time to collaborate, the new perspective with the hangman, the reflection, when it's not coming up roses. Look to the weeds. I love that. And then you have lilac. First emotions of love. Love is the magician that pulls man out of its own hat. Oh, and that's the love of you, the love of yourself. Know you are loved. The hyacinth next. Playfulness. Play in the royal road to childhood, happiness and adult brilliance. Playfulness. I feel like they're talking about letting your inner youth shine a little bit more. Your buoyancy, your vigor for life. White rose. I don't think you've been feeling that. Sorry. I don't think you've been feeling that recently, and I think that's the reason why they're saying that this progression, though, this lesson to be learned, to be gained, is going to lead you into this playful energy, hence where it's like this progression going towards that Six of Swords that's leading you into this, you knowing you're loved, right? So we have new start. Speaking of, and wisdom, I wasn't even looking at it. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, Aristotle. Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is where you're moving to with that Six of Swords. Know you are loved. ᴕᴛ-ᴰᴱᴵᴛᴛ. Power and healing. Lovely. To get what you love, you first have to be patient with what you have. Trust. Am I honoring my knowing? Oh man, this is so lovely. Nasturtium. Forgive me. Victory and conquest. Beautiful. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. That's it. What has grown? What is ready to go so I can grow? Victory and conquest of yourself. Oh, this is so lovely. The friendships, the stamina, absolutely coming in. The people, the right energies. You learning how to read these energy signatures, reflecting, gaining some ground on your own personal patterns, knowing what to burn away, trusting in your knowing. Remember you are loved. My beautiful collective of pile 2. That was beautiful. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you the most amount of love. Until next time, keep watering your lives. If it was helpful, please let me know. I'll leave a like, comment. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, ciao. Welcome my beautiful pile 3 who chose the buffalo skull. Let's spread out your cards. Okay, my lovelies, we are going to see over here what your animal team wants to address first. Lizard spirit, dream the world into being. The first thing I just heard is do not give up on your dreams, no matter how difficult it has been and how little progress you feel like you've seen. Whatever you want to create can be achieved. Your vision is the one that wants to be manifested. It's like you see it clearly. So do it. Yeah, dream it into being, quite literally. There's something about you having your eye on the past and in the future. And they're saying something about the in-between of your present is the disconnecting factor here. What do you mean, Spirit? Oh, they're giving me the analogy of like, because they said, as I was hearing, that the picture's clear, you know what you'd like to be creating. They're showing it to me as in half of the face. Like if you had one half of your face blocked off right down the center, you can still see a picture very clearly, right? But when you bring the other eye into it, like there's a different peripheral naturally. And there's something about the peripheral of the present. I don't know how, I hope this makes sense to you guys. The peripheral of the present that you may not be seeing yet, that would help bring this dream into being. Interesting. So then what may you not be seeing? Sacred divinity. There are two paths ahead. Ooh, speaking of that split perspective. Cool. They're saying that the sacred divinity right now with this card coming up is talking about there has been a distortion in some part of the divine masculine or feminine energy within you that might be a little bit overly analytical or emotional, or what might be weighing you down emotionally, period. They want you to express more creativity, honor the divine feminine masculine within you, feel the beauty and the love that is uniquely you and honor it. And maybe that's why they're giving me that past and the present. Maybe you're looking to see like who's watching me, or too concerned about how others perceive you, possibly. And don't forget to radiate with energetic duality. It's like you don't have to subdue one or the other. Maybe that's the perspective that they're giving me with that half your face covered. Maybe the masculine energy right now is over dominant when it comes to this creative pushing for more, possibly. Or it can be the opposite, where or I don't know, it feels actually like your feminine side has been subdued. That's what I'm gonna feel, especially from the fire that I'm getting from all this energy here. But it can be, however, it can be the opposite, excuse me, or however that resonates with you. They want you to identify the qualities within you without judgment, you know, that you might have been overcompensating for, or doubting yourself with, or thinking too much about what other people might think, you know, about what your choices are or your life. Speaking of this, the buffalo skull represents in this totem energy of sacredness and reverence for life, you know, and the reverence of your life, and that balancing of what you would choose to do, and balance those aspects within you once more, the divine feminine and masculine. Okay, let's see what lesson is to be gained within this process from the lizard spirit so far. Volcano. Volatility. Wow. Volatility. Again, I think that's the reason why I'm feeling that masculine energy. It's a very heavy fire, forceful, like literally like this volcanic explosion. They're saying to me like there's a volatility within the force. It's like it's too strong is what they're saying. And I think that's the reason why I'm getting that feminine energy has been subdued, and why they keep bringing up there's been a distortion in the energies recently. Like they're not balanced at the moment. So bringing this dream into being is going to be a little bit harder because your energy is scattered and not balanced. See what your tarot has to add. Knight of Cups. Five of Wands. Seven of Swords. Page of Wands. Yeah, like so the Knight of Cups, I'm sorry, I'm getting frustrated because I don't know how to describe this without deterring you from your objective, you know? So please hear me out. So the Knight of Cups here, I'm feeling symbology of the dream, the thing that you want to bring into being. The Five of Wands of the adversity that you come up, whether that be within because of your past, or how you felt or feel like you can or need to progress for this thing to come into fruition. You've come up against in past and or in present of adversity, very manipulative, backstabbers, thievery, plagiarism, whatever the case is, and they're feeling, maybe that's the reason why I'm getting that, like looking back, there's like this secrecy that I'm feeling, like you're trying to cover up or hide what you're doing in a sense, but there's some way it's coming out very aggressively, and I don't know how to describe this. And that Page of Wands again, hasty is what I'm getting. But they don't want you to lose the fire, is why I'm trying to, like, how do I word this to you, that this energy just needs to be tempered, it needs to be balanced and used properly, used as the strategy, used as competition to propel you forward, instead of being a combative energy, instead of being thievery or scarcity or secrecy unnecessarily, you know? If this is a lesson to be gained, it's about tempering how you use this force right now within you. The last quarter moon in Cancer, take a breather, no shit. I was just like just plowing those words out. I felt like it just feels very forest, like, and look at all this orangey red, you know, and then this like blue. take a breather. Yeah, you need to come back into that Cancerian type of nurturing feminine energy again to recalibrate, to be able to bring this dream into being. Dream whatever that world is for you into being. This explosion of the idea, of the energy. That's all of this beautiful creative force. But it's like something in here is no bueno. And regardless if it is you're doing or the environment's doing, it doesn't matter. The point is it didn't work in that way. It doesn't mean that your idea is not going to work. It means that the approach wasn't the one. So take a breather. Let's see what elementals or energetic help is around with these two cards here. It's my newest deck. It's called the Prairie Majesty Oracle, so I will be using the book for them. Lovely. Map. Which course takes me home? Compass plant. Yeah, it's an inner compass thing. You know, and I think that's really what it is balancing, tempering. Which way do I go? How do I temper this energy? How do I use this better? What's going to take me to my goal? You know, which course will take me home? It says, compass plant is aptly named. His golden yellow flowers are always reaching for the sun, towering over most of his companions in the prairie. The fingers of his lobed leaves eventually position themselves upright, pointing north and south in an effort to minimize sun exposure. The flat surfaces of the leaves lie east and west, offering travelers a useful reference point. Are you at a crossroads or a decision point of some kind? Each of us maps our own destiny. Sometimes we need markers on the journey when we feel lost or unsure which way to go. These sign points help us remember who we are and why we're here today. Compass plant suggests an exercise for reorienting yourself, whether you're still learning to use your internal compass or the edges are worn smooth. Now is a good time to check in. With pen and paper in hand, head outside if you can for stillness and caressing breeze. Take the breather. What are your values? What are your core beliefs? What brings you comfort and joy? If your present path feels aligned with these personal truths, keep trusting your navigating settings. If you find any discordance, explore why. Do you feel pulled to chart a new course? If you're facing a multiple choice question, which direction brings you back to yourself? That's home. That's the one, my friend. That is the one. Which course is that going to be for you? Sweet and I love it. What is mine to share? Honey bee. I love it. Honeybee is a giver. Like a needle pulling thread, she buzzes from flower to flower, sewing tiny perfect stitches in the fabric of life. Her gathering of pollen and nectar ensures food for many, including us. With other workers, she also produces an astounding amount of honey, more than the hive needs. Rich, sticky, and treasured, this amber sweetness never spoils. Stepping into honeybee's energy offers more possibilities than hexagons in a honeycomb. Love that. Depending on today's circumstances, the influence of her generous spirit may express differently. At one end of the spectrum, your cup may be overfull in a material or metaphysical sense. No need to overthink the release of your honey surplus. The spillover will happen organically at this vibration if you choose it. Fly with honeybee, spreading gladness in the ways that come naturally to you. It's giving me this energy of the volatility of this volcano, like let it spread out, let it overflow, but it needs to be tempered somehow because volcanoes are not always that pleasant if you're very close, At the other extreme, you might feel emptiness, even despair when the sweetness of life feels like a trick. Being told to share it can feel like censor. But that is not Honeybee's way. Listen for her hum as she keeps you company in the dark. Ask her to help you see the threads connecting all of us to life and to each other. Feel the golden strands inside of you, filaments of faith and abundant twisted together in ready supply. Your umbilical cord to the Great Mother is always intact, even when you can't see it. With each rebirth from the void, you have greater capacity to share the certainty. Love that. Beautifully said. I love that. I hope that was really helpful for you. So your final guidance to close it off, my beautiful collective of my bull skull pile. These are from the Botanical Inspirations of Flowers. They're going to give you a progression of advice, adding to the lesson to be gained, giving you some confidence, words of encouragement, reminders. We have Lilac First, first emotions of love. Love is a magician that pulls man out from his own hat. This is the love, the dream. This is very similar energy to Pal 2, not in anything that we talked about, just a similar energy. Violet, faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. Ooh, love that. The heart for truth. Ooh, that candle burned out. It was like, mic drop. Daisy. Gerbera daisy, excuse me. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Yeah, there's a lot of advice cards that are the same in Pal 2. And then we have, same thing, Atonement, Wildflower. I feel like an arrow pulled back and ready to be launched into something big. Yes, and you are, but this energy here, this purity, this cheerfulness, that first emotions of love that bring this faithfulness and modesty, to your task, to your dream, asking for this modesty, this purity, this cheerfulness, this innocence, to temper this anticipation of what you're wanting to create. That leads you into this hydrangea energy of thankfulness for understanding. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another, and that's understanding you. Understanding your timing, your essence of expression, and your fiery nature. It leads us into the red rose, hidden secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And the truth of you cannot be hidden for long. The map to yourself, the sweetening of you, the sweetening of this dynamic or this energy, this dream that you want to bring into being. Take that breather, balance out the masculine and feminine energies, the volatility of this creative explosion, but it's so needed. So just temper it so it can be used. Take that breather. Sending you the most amount of love, my beautiful collective Pal 3. I hope that was helpful. If it was, please leave a like. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Till next time. Ciao.